To all the ladies in the place with style and grace, allow me to lace these lyrical douches into mushes.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Make It in Dubai. This is me, your host Vignesh, and your other host Shivank. I said Shiv last time in the podcast, the subtitle came as shit, bro. That's all I'm saying.
See, people don't value the gems normally look shit, but they don't realize the value. It's one of those things.
Nice. Good job. It was a very bad comeback, but it's okay. Shiv, you know what I thought would be an interesting episode 2?
Okay, go on.
The first episode, what did we say? We said, okay, why did we start this podcast? And what is the thought process behind starting this podcast, right? So I was thinking, what if episode 2 we say, why should they follow us? Like
Mhm.
a normal follower following our podcast, like what should we give them the reason to follow us? Like why are we a bit different than your average Dubai resident, right?
Okay.
So
So
I
it's
came up with
basically
an
the typical sales and marketing where we show the unique selling proposition kind of way. Like it's like you need to see what you're buying and why you should actually buy. Like backing it up with a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, sales is my background and digital marketing is yours. So let's focus on my background for now.
Yeah.
No,
Sure.
but I was thinking, let's give them a reason to follow us. And what's the biggest reason for someone to follow someone? What kind of network can I build with this guy, right? Or what kind of network has these guys built that I can trust these guys? Okay, these guys have dealt with big people, which I said in the previous podcast that we have actually met pretty interesting people, right? So we can give them a reason to trust us by saying the most interesting characters we met in our life and who do they know? Like what tree does that give us and where does that tree, the branch, take us, right? So I think we should discuss that this podcast. What do you think?
Yeah, that will be a good start. I mean, I think that that should pump people up as well. I mean, we'll try to push certain limits over here to describe a lot of. We have limited set of time, so we'll try to explain as much as possible. So yeah,
Agree.
I think you can start if you have something in mind. You can start with that, and then we can do one on one. Like after you have one story or something you connect with, I can put mine. So we can pick one person, one story if you have. Then we can pass it on and see whatever clicks, and we have more stories around that.
Done. So let me talk about my first contact who has branches to two people that I still look up to, right? So I don't want to name the contact's name yet because I don't want to put him out without his permission, right? So let's just say you have me as a contact who can reach that contact, right? So this person knows Ty Lopez and Jordan Peterson, bro. Like,
Okay, so there's something I don't know. So this is something that just got in my head. Now you can't say the name out loud, okay? But you mentioned Ty Lopez. Any random person can come and say I know someone who knows Ty Lopez. So I mean we need to find a way to say it like we know stuff. At the same time, it should not look like an imposter. So this is a bit tricky over here. So
no,
I
okay.
don't know.
Let
Maybe
me
say the first initial of it. I don't know something of the sort.
so
So
let
it
me let me
becomes a
put it
bit more
this way.
realistic.
Let me put out how this person knows Ty Lopez, how this person knows
Okay,
Jordan.
yeah,
This is
that's
how
a good
I
one.
know them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this person knows Jordan Peterson because apparently Jordan Peterson has a doctor that he takes stem cell therapies from, right? Now, this is something I never knew about Jordan Peterson, that he takes stem cell therapies, right? So this guy follows Jordan Peterson's daughter on Spotify, Michaela Peterson, right? So he heard Michaela Peterson say that, my dad, Jordan Peterson, took this stem cell therapy from this particular doctor from Canada or whatever. So he just said, okay, you know what? Let me hit him up on Instagram. Why not? If it's not like he's going to reply back to me anyway, let me just try my best. And he texted him on Instagram, and he immediately got a reply saying, "Oh, hey, you know what? I am actually on my way to Dubai. So if you want, we can meet up in Dubai." And he's like, "Holy shit, really?" He's like, "Yeah." So he actually got his own stem cell therapy done from this doctor,
That's
right?
very good. Yeah, that's lit. Okay.
Yeah. So this is one. So this is one of the contacts that I have, right? So the fact that he knows Jordan Peterson's personal doctor. So if he pushes himself, and he's not a small guy himself, so if he actually wants to meet Jordan Peterson, he can, right? And if
Mhm.
I'm close to him, then you'll never know, right? He might take me to go meet Jordan Peterson. That's one. Now, two, the second guy I mean, the same guy knows Ty Lopez. And how does he know Ty Lopez? Well, this person that I know is also into network marketing, right? So what he did was he has his friend who moved to Los Angeles for a job, right? And no, he didn't know what job it was, nothing. So he said, okay, you know what? This is a 2, 3 month vacation that I have in my hands. Let me go meet that friend. It's been a long time. He goes to Los Angeles, goes and meets that friend, and that friend's staying in a mansion with a lot of other people. Now he's like, bro, why are you staying with like 10 other people, right? And he's like, oh no, we just started growing, so it's like a startup space. And he's like, okay, fine. And then he sees upstairs and he sees Ty Lopez walking down, and he's like, guys, did you finish this thing which I asked you to do? And he's like, bro, you fucking work with Ty Lopez? And the guy's like, yeah, man, I thought I told you. He's like, no, you fucking didn't tell me, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, he stayed in the same mansion because he was a good friend of this guy, and this guy apparently used to do really well. So Ty Lopez was like, yeah, I trust you and your decisions and everything. So
So I
he
think
got,
everybody, I mean, in their mind, they would have this question: is Ty Lopez legit based on whatever you've known and you've spoken? Because
that
that is
is true.
something good
I
interesting to
asked
know
him
as
the
well.
same thing. I asked him the same question. I'm like, so wait, is Ty Lopez legit? Like his apartment, I mean, his villa and his mansion and his Lamborghinis, his lifestyle. He's like, mate, let me tell you this, right? People can think it's legit, people can do whatever they want, but at the end of the day, he has his own Lamborghini, he has his own mansion. He's not sitting and questioning. It doesn't matter. He's like, people can have what they want to have, but at the end of the day, he's made it. He's having fun in his life. Any PR is good PR for him, as long as his name's going on. So that's all he gave a shit about. But he himself saw the mansion and Lamborghini, so I mean,
Okay,
he's a
that's a
trusted
validation
contact.
basically that it's there. I mean, the way he would have made is something we can't validate right now. I mean, there's multiple angles
Yeah,
which we
that's
could have
different. That's different, right? But
spoken
yeah,
here.
the thing is, the contact knows these two people.
That's true.
So
That's
this
true.
is someone I met. And I'll tell you a story of how I met him, but let me try briefing it up. So basically, I go for a launch party because I was invited to it, and so was he. And you go and you see all these guys coming with their family, their wives, their girlfriends, and I'm like, man, I'm just the guy there standing alone. And I see this contact of mine who's very close now. At that time, he was nobody to me. He was just a stranger walking past me and just taking a picture of the view. And I was like, hey, are you here alone as well to this launch party? He was like, yeah, I'm here alone. And I was like, oh, I'm here alone too, bro. I mean, and he's like, high five, man. And we just high fived. That's literally how I met. And now here we
Pretty
are. We're
organic, like
associates.
pretty natural, pretty
Yeah,
organic.
it's
You
very
know,
natural.
like
And because I was curious why he's alone, right? Because everyone else is there with their girlfriends, he's come alone. And so was I. So yeah, now that friendship's turned into something nice where we meet up every weekend to discuss stuff, what I've learned, and he's teaching me stuff and a lot of different conversations. So this is someone interesting I've met.
okay.
So maybe this
Do
can
you think
give
this
them
guy would be like a millionaire, billionaire, anything we can put over there? Like, a figure to,
this
you
guy
know?
is a multi-millionaire, I'll say that much.
Okay, okay, that's
Yeah.
good enough. That's I
That's good
think,
enough, Ethan, right?
yeah, yeah, that's fucking good enough for. I mean,
No
compared
shit.
to,
You have someone interesting as well. So it's
yeah,
your
yeah,
turn.
yeah, yeah. So okay, fine. I'll go next. I think we are already close to 8 minutes. So yeah, I'll try to frame it in a way where we can, I'll condense this whole story and then we can have something
True.
else we can talk about.
True.
So basically, the person whom I think is the best out of what comes in my mind is I met this guy through. He was working. He had his own agency, and this agency is not like a normal marketing agency. It's mainly about like display advertising. So he has his own network. Okay, so this guy I met him in Dubai. He flew from Sweden. His okay. To make it more realistic, I'll give the initial. It's M. Okay, so this Mr. M. He flew here. There's one more guy with him, like one of the team members. So I met him over here. We went to Top Golf. It was pretty nice when we went there. And we were speaking about a lot of stuff over there. So I asked him like, what is the biggest contact biggest person, famous figure you've met? He said that he's met Jack Dorsey. Okay. He said, I was like, really, what the fuck? Really, you met Jack Dorsey? I was like, really? I wasn't able to process. I was like, okay, what's the story there? So he mentioned that he was in one of those, not a networking event, but it was more like startup kind of event where a lot of the startup comes in. I think it was somewhere in California. Okay, so he was there, and then Jack Dorsey was just passing by, and he was just standing there, and he's like, "What do I do? I don't know what to do now." He's just standing there. I can just pitch him what I have, but he's like, it'll be too. I don't know. He's a sales guy as well, but he's like, what? Fuck it, I'll do it. He went and just told him the idea. Jack Dorsey heard him and like, yeah, all the best, and he left. So there's no validation he got, nothing. I mean, it's just like, okay, he saw the idea, he heard about it, and then, yeah, I mean, all the best, and went. So then this guy was like, did I fuck up with the idea? No, he went even in the zone. But yeah, he's doing well now. I mean, he's been nailing it in terms of the agency. Like they got acquired recently, and they have multiple chains of businesses now. Same in the display advertising space. So yeah, that's one of the biggest contact he had, met. Now this guy, the story is that this guy was in Sweden. I mentioned, right? So when he used to work initially before starting his own business, he basically worked for a guy, okay, who was wanna be the future owner of Spotify. Okay, he didn't know back then. Okay, so when they were starting out, Daniel is the name, right? So Daniel,
Yeah,
the name of the CEO. We saw the show as well, right? Remember we
yeah,
saw that show. What is the
yeah.
name of that?
It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Show on
So
Spotify.
it's
Playlist or
fine.
something. That's what it's called.
Yeah, something playlist. Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, what happened in this case is he was working with Daniel guy. Now, Daniel had two paths. Okay, he wanted to get into video business and he wanted to get into audio business. Okay, with the same similar concept. Now, I don't know, luckily or unluckily, he mentioned to me that, I was part of the video business, which fucking never picked up. And they're trying to compete with YouTube and stuff. The audio part is what we know Spotify as now, but he worked in the video part. He knows Daniel though. So he knows, he's been in this business, and Sweden is a smaller place comparatively for entrepreneurs. So these guys know each other, a bit in that way. So, so he was like, I don't know, there's a Spotify thing would have happened. Maybe I would have been in a different place, but right now I'm still doing fine. So yeah, that's the the person I mean I've met.
Imagine,
And
imagine if he knows Daniel. I'm 100% sure all the investors that Daniel met would have definitely come to their office to talk to him. So he must have met people like I think was Peter Thiel one of the investors that invested.
Peter Thiel, I think so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember we saw in the documentary as well, the
Yeah,
playlist.
yeah,
Peter
because he
Thiel
said
was
this is
there
the
and
same guy who invested in Facebook or something like that. Something was
correct.
going
Yeah,
on
I
there.
think I think so.
And if I remember right, I think you told me this before that you met this contact, and this contact actually has the reach to reach that kind of level, right?
Yeah, there's one more guy. I mean, I'll try to search up the name. And these guys have Wikipedia pages, so you can understand the
Yeah. So I
significant
mean,
thing over here.
and all of this, the key point is all of this happened in Dubai. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
true.
we're trying to make you guys understand that. Okay, why follow us? Because one, you know, we are trying to make it in Dubai ourselves, but two, the kind of network that we are attaining for ourselves to make it, we want you guys to leverage us to get into that network. Because why not, right? There
That's
is a reason, and I'm going to be very selfish about it because one, it is the fact that Shiv and I, we can meet like-minded people like us, and we've always kept saying that. And two, once we build a community in Dubai, right, it's a different league. The game is different because then now we're all sharing resources. It's not like us living in different places, but now it's become like a herd that's going to take care of its clan, something like that. So that's
yeah.
what we're going for.
I'd like to add something more. I mean, since we're talking about this, right? I think the extra part we're trying to do here is that we have all of this information, back in our heads, it's sitting there. We know all this information. We have kind of a wisdom as well. I mean, not trying to act cocky or stuff, but there's some wisdom at least sitting over here. So the whole idea we have right now is that, let's say, when we talk now, the whole goal over here is to make sure we make it okay with the wisdom we have from Dubai and people we made from Dubai. So the whole model we're going for is a bit different. It's not like something we can just apply based on US what works around, because there are different geographies are different ways of working. Because we'll discuss it later as well about the complications of starting something new over here, the registration process, the license or whatever. There are multiple parameters to it. But right now we're trying to see the best case scenario of what we can get, what information are we absorbing. We pull from different countries, different absorbing, we absorb different stuff and try to build our own custom made model right now. And this is the whole journey for it, right? So
And
yeah,
it's not like we come from wealth or we come from a generation of this thing. Everything that we've built right now, of course, our parents have helped us, but every single thing that we're stepping on is a step that's built by us
yeah, I
with
think they
our
can
hard
see
work.
the cheap lights in the background and they can figure out that you're not traditional.
I hope you guys are not seeing the light on my right, but yeah. So that's the thing, right? We are trying to do something to make it all work for us, and we just want you to see our journey. At the same time, we want you to be part of the journey, and so we can help you at the same time, right? So since Shiv, I think there's like what about 20 to 30 seconds left. And
Yeah.
like I said, we just want this to be a dinner conversation. So I'm pretty sure most of you guys are going to finish your dinner right now. So just before you finish your dinner, another golden nugget which I can put out there is another contact, two of my contacts, right? they both have linkage to Andrew Tate, bro. Can you believe that?
See,
Can you
now you put a very controversial piece over here. Like,
controversial figure? True, but he says right things are here and then, right? I'm not gonna lie. He says right things here now and then, but the thing is, people know him. That's my whole point. So yeah, there are a few contacts who know that as well. But
question: if you had to ever get a tattoo saying Andrew Tate on your chest, will you get it?
Andrew Tate, bro, maybe if I get married, then then I can because I know the girl's not gonna leave me.
Or what if the girl sees and they're like, "Fuck you! I don't believe this
Yeah,
shit."
that's exactly why I'll not get it before marriage. No, but the point is, we want to make sure that all of these contacts that we have, we're going to share the stories of how we met them, what did we do, and how are we going to use them, how are we using them, how are they using us? Because one parting
Okay,
thought I
using
want to
sounds a
leave.
very negative word. You can rephrase it a bit, I think.
Yeah. So one parting thought which I want to leave away with is saying, how are we leveraging the network we have? Not use. The word is leverage, right? You
Yeah,
create value, and so they see that okay, this person is of value, so we can give some value to them as well. So
yeah.
there's more of a value transfer that's happening, and that's what we're trying to do with this podcast as well. That's my leaving parting thought for this episode. Yeah,
Perfect. Yeah, I think
perfect,
we're done with
guys.
the
I hope you
today's
had a nice
episode.
dinner. See you guys in the next episode. Ciao.
Yeah.